Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, August 1st, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight, with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024. We produced the 25th anniversary of the Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th. Pride fed Diversity Pride in August and Pride Fort Lauderdale next February.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Welcoming all, Jesuit priest works to make church kinder to queers. Jesuit priest Father James Martin has emerged as a prominent voice advocating for greater inclusivity and understanding of LGBTQ+ individuals within the Roman Catholic Church. His ministry, often described as gay-affirming, centers on the belief that LGBTQ+ Catholics deserve respect, compassion, and sensitivity, echoing the catechisms of the Catholic Church's call for such treatment. Through books like Building a Bridge and numerous public engagements, Father Martin encouraged dialogue between the institutional church and the LGBTQ+ community. He emphasizes the shared humanity and spiritual journeys of all people, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, fostering an environment where LGBTQ+ individuals can feel welcome and affirmed in their faith. His work seeks to bridge divides, promote genuine encounter, and remind the church of its pastoral duty to minister to all members with love and acceptance. Take a note, y'all. Specifically, not only the Catholic Church, but any church that needs this type of work that he's advocating for. And I'm really passionate about his work, trying to be the bridge builder, to be the voice, to be the advocate, probably in places where these conversations are trying to be hushed up or covered over or sidelined. And I think, maybe say, let's keep the main thing. This is part of the main thing today. This is part of the main discussion that needs to be having, not only in the Catholic churches, but really all churches across the board. Because I think the more we can find people who are willing to step out and step up and not care about what the church, local or the denomination cares about them, or even the world for them, they're willing to do the work to make sure that all people can find a place and find their voice within their faith community. That's a big, big calling. So kudos to him for making sure that he's doing his part in the Catholic Church. And I'm sure it has a ripple effect that it's going to reach out to those places where it needs to, both inside the Catholic Church or outside the Catholic Church.
Yeah, there's two angles of this for me. Is that what he does within the Roman Catholic Church is just an example of what happens in every church. That there is those who feel that faith is about grace and compassion, and there are those who feel like faith is about fear and control. And which experience of faith are you going to promote? And the people who come down on the sides of grace and love and acceptance and tolerance and inclusion are always sort of branded heretical by the power keepers and the controllers and so this is the battle. I mean, we could have changed this to the Worldwide Anglican Communion. We could have changed this to the Methodist Church. We could have changed this to Lutheranism, and pick a place. This is the battle. And so to see, it's actually encouraging to see that it goes on in the Catholic Church, because otherwise you might think it's monolithic, and but no, they've got a lot of opinions and a lot of internal dialogue and debate, and so it's actually kind of a relief for that. The other thing is I couldn't do what he does, and this is a lesson I learned with the dawn of effective HIV treatments. Monotherapies were never effective. It wasn't until combination therapies came out that we got control of this. And so I couldn't do what he does. because I don't have the patience to stay in a system that I've deemed oppressive, try to work on the inside, chip away at the mountain just a little tiny crack at a time. It's not me. I ain't doing it. And I would act out they would throw me out. In fact, that's kind of what happened. So, so I couldn't do that. Right. So thank God he can.
Yeah.
And he, for whatever reason, couldn't do what I do. He wouldn't want to leave completely. He wouldn't want to come at it from the outside. He wouldn't want to tilt at windmills or whatever. And so between what people like me do and what people like him do, things are happening.
Right.
Whereas if we just used one approach, it might not happen. Certainly wouldn't happen as quickly. So we need everyone to do what they can. And when everyone does what they can, that's when things happen. So I couldn't do what he does, but I'm glad he does what he does, because that makes what I do even more effective. So good on him. This is a conversation that's going on everywhere, and we need the inside and outside people, because monotherapies don't work.
Right. I think a lot of religious organizations could use a Father Martin, somebody really to open communication, somebody to build bridges. Right now things seem very off kilter. And even in churches, particularly in churches, I think to have somebody there who's willing to build bridges, to open communication, is of the utmost importance. If not, it's really going to be a struggle. And I think we're kind of starting to see that right now.
And I think that not just religious institutions need that type of leadership. Every business needs a trailblazer for the queer community. I can speak for myself. I worked for a decade and a half in a quote-unquote macho environment. When I first started working with New York City Transit, there were very few women.
Oh, I thought you meant when you worked at the pillow factory.
Well, there was that too, but we used them to get rid of the problems. But when I first started with transit, it was totally male-dominated, and they started moving through and beginning to understand that a woman could actually operate a train without a problem. It's not like they're out there pushing it.
We're pretty bright.
Yeah, so there was that, and then here's this queer man, and for most of the time that I was there, I was not out, not on the job. Meanwhile, I had a husband at home, and very few people that I trusted enough would be invited into my inner circle, into my house. So transit needed a trailblazer, and I wasn't that trailblazer. But there were trailblazers. So I'm looking at a friend's post from the Stonewall Pride Parade in New York, and New York City Transit had a whole flotilla. That the whole authority was out there with queer people saying who they are, what they are, and yeah, I keep saying it. Every morning I come in and Reverend Dr. Atwell has to get hit with this. How you doing, Kevin? I'm here, I'm queer, and she always says, we're used to it. So every industry, every organization needs that type of trailblazer. And if you're not that trailblazer, just look for the person who is and make sure you support them.
I didn't know Kevin was gay. I didn't know who was going to come out on this show. I'm going to talk to HR about what we can do about this.
Wait a minute, you are HR.
Oh, then probably going to be okay then. And that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to like and share this episode on your social media. And I also welcome you to find Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our bishops' pages on Facebook. My page is Bishop Robert Griffin, D-Men, and Darrell's is Bishop Darrell Watkins, D-Men. We're also on TikTok. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. There you will also find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Darrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars. We've also added a weekly lectionary discussion that you can find on the website and on the social medias.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together, and also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Bye.